my name is Emma Kehoe, and I am a life coach in neuroscience, a mindfulness teacher in positive psychology and meditation, and I am a Reiki healer as well. Just to note as well, so like this is only my journey the last 3 or 4 years. Always helping people has been something I've loved, that way I love interacting with people, I love connecting people, but it was always something I liked. But then I was like, I want to actually kind of have a diploma. I want something out of this. So that's when I decided to go and do a course in life coaching. And that's where it really all started. How did I choose? I think actually Google. I remember going in and a lot of my friends were like, Emmy, you always give like the best advice. You're very relatable. And I was like, okay. So I just started typing in like life coaching courses. I was like, okay. I was like, this is something I want to look into for myself, but maybe make a living out of from. So I Googled and I found the PSG course. I found that and we were in the classroom and it was so nice. Like I found it and it was quite overwhelming at the start because you're going into a room and there was 40 people in there, 30, 40 people. A lot of people say from like Google would have been there or HR people, but then a good few people were there for themselves. I just took a leap of faith and signed up. Definitely. I'd say, first of all, the biggest leap you'll ever do is like you're signing yourself up, you're going back to school. So that's a big confidence booster, like as in going, oh my God, I'm doing something for me. It's so scary. It's like the first day of school, but I knew I really wanted it. Then the second thing along with confidence is meeting new people, connections. And it was more like tapping into my own self-awareness as well. Like really learning the tools, what you need to learn to understand and regulate not only yourself but another person. So it's like, how do I show up head, heart and gut? Where's this coming from? Like you start to ask yourself questions, not just go, go, go. It was more like, hold on, what tool can I use here now? So I found it really helped me not only signing up for the course, but when even I finished the course and I went through a hard time in my life, I was able to use certain tools to help myself. It definitely was a part of it because I do think when you have these tools inside you, like you're still going to have negative, you're still going to do that, but like you do have to kind of go back to what you learned and be kind to yourself as well. So I integrated along with coaching other things into my life as well. I do think self-compassion and kindness is a big thing. It's not always like go get her, go and get it, because I was that type of person. But the tools there that you have being like, okay, if someone can do this, I can do it too. Like being my own cheerleader, being my own coach, that way? Because it's like, it's scary where I would give this people, I wouldn't give advice, but I would coach people on this being like, you can get this, where I'm like, am I getting it? Like, am I empowering myself here? So I'm taking my own advice now. I'm nearly being like, okay, you can break it down. You can, I'm nearly coaching myself now. So I do think it has been a big part of it. For me, it's like always start something with yourself. Don't just do it just for money, because it has to come as in for a passion or a purpose or a feeling that you want. It doesn't come, I think this sort of work when you're coaching people, whether it's, other lines of work as a service to another person, it's that connection you want. It's that service you want. It's that fulfillment that gives it inside. Ask yourself those things. First of all, you're going to be the project, and then you're going to project that onto other people, because it's not something I'll go into coach and I'll make a bit of money, but it's not about that. It's about the bigger picture of what you're doing. So first, it's definitely, if you're going to be the project first and you want to see how to navigate it, then it's totally for you. And then you start adding it on. As I went in and I done this course as, guinea pig, I was like, I'm going to ooze all that. And I think that's why I'm so passionate about this work, because I am the project, I am the guinea pig. I love all this work because I'm doing it myself, and then I do it onto others, and it just comes naturally. So if it is something for you that you feel, my God, I'd love more knowledge, to connect with myself and to learn about me and to have the tools, and then maybe give it to someone, then it's totally for you. I still have I've a good few clients. And the thing about coaching is, which I really like, is that I'd say when I started off, I always have about 10 floating clients. But then as it went on, some will leave as well. It's not like therapy or counseling. You have to understand coaching comes when you need it, and they might dip in and out, and it's allowing that as well. So then in the last 3 weeks, I've gotten 3 new clients. So it's kind of letting them and, you know, go on their own journey, and you go on it with them, and you always have new people come and go. So it's actually really nice. They'll find you when they're meant to find you, but it's something then I'll always coach people one-to-one, and I do other things because I think that's a way to strengthen my own muscle. It's my own self as well, being connected to that person, and even seeing the rewards of what in the last 3 years. It's crazy, Sinead, like for my clients, my other previous clients, when I look at what they've done, I was like, I was part of that. Like I was the clarity and the perspective for them to really go after that. It's so rewarding. Like it's so empowering. It is so empowering. And that's where I only launched my new website today. And that's where my logo, my brand came from, and my podcast is Empower with Emma. So my main goal was not only to empower myself, but to empower others. I think if you sit with yourself and just think, like, what is that voice inside telling you, that inner self of, like, you know, that you inside, what do you really want to do, like in your gut? Like, go with your gut, because that is like, it's like that, trust your gut. When you trust it, it's not wrong. It's your intuition. Your head will say other things, but your gut is not wrong. And if you feel more positive, that you're like, oh, I think I should do it, because you'll never regret something you did do, but you will regret something you didn't do. Oh, immensely. Like, even though, like, I only speak about this on my pod, it's like, you think like, everyone has their confidence, like there's certain versions, but when you're literally going in, like, felt like I was going into school again. You knew no one, you were throwing yourself in the deep end. But it was a whole new experience. It was a challenge for myself to connect with other people, to open up, to learn, to grow, to develop. And I definitely learned a lot. My confidence grew. And like, even coaching someone as well, at the first I was like, oh my God, how am I going to like charge for this? What am I going to do? But it will come, like you grow a real big confidence from it as well, I found. And you know, that's what I look to when I'm coaching people now. I give them that light because I want them to have that too. Oh yeah, big time. So I use that even in my daily life. And I think as well, so for me, that's something I always practice in my coaching as well with my clients, is always like how you show up, head, heart, and gut, how you connect with yourself, your emotions. Like, are you aware of the situation? What's going on? What are you saying? What are you not saying? Like, challenging people, but challenging myself. Like, where is this coming from? Why do I feel like this? And even my beliefs as well. Where did you do something and it went well? So I'm always asking myself those questions so I can challenge myself, because growth doesn't come from our comfort zone. It's still an ongoing, like, it's still an ongoing thing. Like, you'll never, when will you ever be at Mount Everest? You know, that way we're always climbing. It's a journey. We have to keep going, discover. We're never going to be at the top. What does the top look like? But if we enjoy the journey, all about our self-development, self-exploration, and like enjoy it. It's not like, there is going to be struggles, but if you know and you have the right tools to navigate through it, then you're already winning. Well, I was always into education. I was always into learning, I was always into that as well. But I think from the coaching course as well, it does kind of give you the confidence when you start one course off to go, ooh, why can't I do another one? Ooh, if I've done that, I can do that again. And it did seem easier for me. So I done a mindfulness, I'm a mindfulness teaching course as well, and it was actually in Griffith. And it was just a lot more at ease I was with myself. And then I went in, like, done Reiki, and I was more at ease. I'm just like, oh, I've done this rodeo before. And it's just so nice. It's nice to meet like-minded people who are on this journey together, not only with themselves, but, you know, at service for people as well. I would say that I really started to look at how I was showing up and what I was bringing, and just more self-aware of myself as well. So, you know, something I've been working on, I'd say, over the last few years is response and not react. Priming myself before I go in to something, you know, always pause. You don't have to just constantly react straight away. It's giving time, because I think for me, when you give time, I know I can be quite impatient at times, I think, like anybody, but I think it's that space in between that the magic happens, you know, that way, that pause, that space. And even for me, I went through such a hard time. There was actually 3 years ago this week, you know, a really bad breakup, COVID hit, everything. And I honestly think that those little tools that I had in coaching and what I was doing, that I could literally just, it's okay, and protect myself as much as, like, you wanted to run away as well. I had certain ways I could navigate and kind of navigate my brain. The most valuable lessons I felt from the course was, like, I think you have the power, like, as well, like, do you know, that way, like, you can do whatever you want to do, but it just starts with action. You have to put it into action as well. You know everything. So, like, when I was going through the course, like, I don't know everything, you know, talking to someone, you do know it. Like, it's just letting it go naturally. And I think as well is, there is so much room for this work out there. And you think, oh, the market's flooded, whatever. Mental health is not given enough time and gratitude by the government, where we're the ones that are, you know, to give that back to people, give those services back to people as well. Do you know, that way, whether it's coaching, counseling, therapy, I do think it's so important to help others and guide others along the journey they want, and give them the tools that you've been working with as well, so they can value themselves as well. So I think it's so important, you know, to value yourself so others can value them. But the main thing for me, what I valued from it, was believing in myself. I still get a lot, like, I have a following on social media, but it's a small following, nothing major, like, but I still get asked about what coaching course I did. I'd say at least once every month I get asked. The teachers that they have in there is a nice mix as well. You need a mix of people to integrate as well. And the people that you meet, it's just a really nice stepping stone for yourself to not only explore yourself and coach yourself and give you back tools, but the tools that we weren't given when we were younger, and how to cultivate ourselves and show up as ourselves. You know, we didn't learn this stuff in school. So unfortunately, we have to go to courses to understand ourselves. And then when we do understand that, we see the rewards within ourselves, and we see what we've done. And then we're like, oh, I want to give that to someone else. And I think that's just where it starts.